New York City is got the early voting's about to start in the mayor's race. There have been some ridiculous polls in the last couple of days showing the race closer between Andrew Cuomo and a very young socialist. Dan, what's that guy's name?
Begins with a Zahir.
Yeah, all right. We'll see his name in a moment.
Yes.
The final Cuomo ad, I think it's the final ad, before early voting begins, for the first time from the campaign itself, mentions Andrew Cuomo's sole plausible challenger. Here is that new commercial.
LA's in chaos. Imagine it's Times Square. Trump's coming for New York. Who do you think can stop him? Zoran Mamdani's a 33-year-old dangerously inexperienced legislator who's passed just 3 bills with a staff you can fit inside a New York elevator. New York already has a crisis of affordability and safety. We need someone ready to roll. Andrew Cuomo's managed a state and managed crises, from COVID to Trump. Trump's at the city gates. We need someone experienced to slam them shut. Paid for by Cuomo for NYC Inc.
Now, I've lived here for 2 decades and I've never seen the city gates, but I'm sure they're spectacular. Dan, what do you, besides the fact that he's obviously playing off of the current events of the Los Angeles situation, what do you make of that ad as it might speak to the Team Cuomo's confidence that they're going to win?
Well, I think it says they don't have confidence and they know the guy's surging. I mean, they are, as much as they're trying to do the anti-Trump, it is more a shot that this, he's a young 33-year-old with very little governing experience. And is he really going to take over the big city when Trump is, starting to go into blue cities to do what he wants to do? So I think the question is just, can Cuomo hold on? Clearly this guy is surging. The question is, can he pass him? Do progressives all rally around this guy, or do they remain, do a couple candidates get 9% and 10% and kind of just, he can't get there? I don't see how he wins a general election.
Yeah,
I mean,
So a couple things. Cuomo will be on the general election ballot, as will be Mayor Adams, as will a Republican. So even if he wins the primary, he's not necessarily going to be the mayor. The other thing is, we talk here about polls. What's a good poll? What's a bad poll? One of the polls that shows this guy competitive with Andrew Cuomo, they didn't include people from Staten Island. Okay, so I mean, you gotta read the polls a little carefully. All right. Let's go to your questions as always.
Hello.
You usually pass on this topic.
But I actually did a little homework on this.
All right.
So you know what? I come to my understanding is Bloomberg dropped in 5 million yesterday. There's an IE that's going up that's got a ton of money in it. The IE money is all they're worried about independent expenditure stuff. These guys, there's a lot of money coming in to rescue Cuomo at the end. I think there's a lot of concern about this guy surging. There's a lot of money that's going to come in from the outside to help Cuomo because they can't stand the thought of this guy winning. By the way, I will just say this on that ad, for as experienced as I would assume Cuomo's team, I thought they missed the mark. Going after him for inexperience was right on. And then they're like, he's only passed 3 bills. His staff can fit in an elevator. No one gives a shit anything about that. It was, to me, just continue on.
But the problem is they can't in a TV ad go after him for being too left wing because
no. I would have stayed on the theme of inexperience. He's 33 years old. He hasn't done anything. Why bring up the number of bills?
By the way, Sean,
they're saying he's not accomplished. He's not up to the job.
I think you could have done it in a much more compelling way than how many staff fit in an elevator.
I hear you.
Sean, if Bloomberg put $5 million in, I'm not sure that's going to help Andrew Cuomo. I think the progressives will go nuts about this. It just fires up the other side.
I will tell you this, and I've done no reporting on it yet, but I will. The business community got Adams elected, and they did it in a very quiet way, including going to their employees and basically saying to them, everybody should vote for Eric Adams. The business community is about to mobilize for Andrew Cuomo, and they'll do it in a quiet way. Sean, has anyone reported that Bloomberg put in $5 million, or that's your own unique reporting?
That's my unique reporting from sources
close. John was here the other day, so it's possible.
But and also I do know that on the IE front, I know people I'm aware of.
All right.
Some of the folks.
Hey, Michael, Google around and see if anybody else has that on Twitter or anywhere else, or make that a.
Can you imagine if I'm breaking New York City?
I love it.
I know. I will be very happy. Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button. Be part of the Two-Way community. Never miss a clip. And you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.